I am Sunita Manna. Welcome to my channel, Study with Sunita. In this video we will discuss about Osazone test. At first we should know, what is Osazone? Osazone are the compounds formed when the reducing sugar reacts with excess of phenylhydrazine at boiling temperature. Osazone formed with different sugars have a characteristic crystalline structure, which can be studied with the help of a microscope. Definition of Osazone test. Osazone test is a chemical test used to detect reducing sugars. This test even allows the differentiation of different reducing sugars on the basis of the time of appearance of the complex. This test is also termed phenylhydrazine test, based on the reagent used for this test. The objective of Osazone test: to detect reducing sugars, to differentiate reducing sugars from non-reducing sugars, to distinguish different reducing sugars between each other. Now we will know the principle of Osazone test. This test is based on the fact that carbohydrates with free or potentially free carbonyl groups react with phenylhydrazine at boiling temperature to form Osazone. The requirements are given below.
At first we take 5 ml of test solution in a test tube. Then we add 5 drops of glacial acetic acid. Now add 0.2 gram of phenylhydrazine hydrochloride. Now add 0.1 gram of sodium acetate. After adding all this compound, we mix everything together with the help of a glass rod. We will keep it in a boiling water bath for 25 to 30 minutes. After 25 minutes, we take it off from the boiling water bath and cool it under running tap water. Now we observe the crystals under a microscope in high power field. Needle-shaped crystals indicate the reducing sugar is glucose. Sunflower or petal-shaped crystals indicate the presence of maltose. These crystals indicates the presence of lactose. This is the figure of the complete reaction of Osazone formation. Now we should know about the precautions. Phenylhydrazine hydrochloride is toxic. Avoid direct contact. Use gloves while handling.
Result and interpretation of Osazone test. Based on the shape and structure of the crystals and their time of appearance, different sugars can be identified. The following is a chart for the identification of reducing sugar through this test. Uses of Osazone test. This test is the only test that can be used to distinguish lactose from maltose during the identification of unknown sugars. This is a simple, cheap, and relatively less time-consuming test for the identification and differentiation of different sugars encountered in clinical practice. This test can also be used for locating sugars in plant tissues. Limitations for this test: this test gives a positive result for sucrose when if boiled for 30 minutes or more, even though sucrose is a non-reducing sugar. This test is not effective if the sample contains a mixture of different sugars. Similarly, large quantities of sugars are required for a positive result.